Now, you know I wouldn't be AT2 if I didn't come at leftists. And today, we are going to talk about this clip that has been going viral with Dem consultant Yemisi, where she basically called out Graham Platner and was all like, he's cosplaying as a progressive. And I think he is cosplaying because we just take their word for it that they're this great progressive leader. But where's the actual proof? But go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get into this clip, you guys. Here we go. All right, so we all know over the weekend, Graham Platner is in trouble again. Mind you, he said, oh, nothing else is coming out. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more stuff to come out about him. But again, he got caught this weekend because basically the Wall Street Journal put out an article saying like, hey, this guy was sexting other women while married to his wife in spring of 2025, and then she told one of the staffers or the campaign staffers in August of 2025, like, hey, this might come up. Now Graham Platner is saying this is all a lie, this is all made up. Nah, homie, the profile has been verified. We know it's you. So CNN, you know, Abby Phillips, her WrestleMania show that she hosts, they were all talking about it. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Is running on.
What is your take on this Graham Platner situation and the fact that Democrats are doing what I would argue maybe Republicans have been doing since 2016 and just saying, eh?
Yeah, because of last cycle and the ones leading up to, I think the bar for entry, the Democratic Party, has been placed so low because we put it there. You know, Democrats right now just want a candidate who can, you know, speak plain English and communicate to voters and be authentic.
But I think we have lost the plot on authenticity. I think Graham Platner is cosplaying working class. He wears it like a Halloween costume. And that has been placed on him by the same people who have run a lot of progressive candidates across the nation. In this pursuit of getting to know the everyman, we keep picking these people who I think show the worst parts of society. If I am to believe that Graham Platner can relate to everyday Americans, and that means I am to believe that everyday Americans are okay with Nazi tattoos because they get them accidentally when they're drunk, or because they served in the military. They have very regressive views on race and on gender. I just cannot accept the fact that to gain the working class, we have to dress up people who show the lowest of our values.
It does speak to how hungry Democrats are for new blood, though.
Then give them real anti-establishment people.
Governor Janet Mills is a very credible person. Governor Janet Mills is very credible, and she lost.
Right. I mean,
new leadership.
This is just
Technically, Janet Mills hasn't lost. They haven't had their primary yet. She didn't have enough funding. So, yeah, she had to suspend her campaign, but she's still going to be on the ballot. But I want to talk about this. But it's this whole conversation of like, oh, we need a fighter. We need somebody in there who can talk to the people and who can really get people excited to vote. And that's great. I agree with that. But why do we have to stick with the lowest of the lowest? Because let's go ahead and throw it out there. And y'all know, oh, AT2, you're always talking about race. No. Let's talk about it. Because if this man was black let's just stick with black because you know how y'all hate black people. If he was black, oh, they would have told him to get his ass out of there. They would have got him up out of there so fast, so quick, and in a hurry. There wouldn't be no question. They would have automatically been like, yeah, we got to take this guy out. Bye. But with Graham Platner, there's this whole feeling like he's redeemable. And this is what happened with a lot of white people. I'm gonna wake y'all up. This happens with a lot of white people. They are seen as redeemable. This is why we're having the conversations about Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are actually horrible, stank-ass people, but because they're Caucasian, you think that they're redeemable, and they're not, because they have not changed. Just because they don't like Israel does not mean that they are great people. And I think we're losing the plot. And again, with Graham Platner, he's against giving money for foreign wars, and he's against, you know, what Israel is doing. And he does come out and say, yes, what Israel is doing, they're committing genocide, which is a great point to have because that is true, right? But at the same token, are we just going to accept everybody who says that? I'm pretty sure there's another candidate somewhere that will say the same thing that Graham Platner is saying with a hell of a less controversy behind him. And we can't pretend like this is normal or this is okay. And mind you, that cheating scandal was just last year. And then we go to back in 2018 and 17 and so forth. No matter what, Graham Platner, when he was saying those things about women are to blame for their own, you know what, black people don't tip, calling gay people the F word. When he's saying all of this, he is a grown-ass man. This isn't something like, oh, when they were 15, they were playing around on the internet. He was grown. Like, this is not normal. This is very alarming that this man is ignorant like this in his adulthood. And yeah, he can change, but let's give him some time to change. Like, let's not run him for Senate. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people can't be redeemed. They can't show, they can't change. They can't progress, but you don't run somebody like that in Senate. And especially for a seat that's going to be heavily contested by Susan Collins, because let's be honest, Susan Collins has won all her races. They weren't even like close. I believe this last time in 2020, she won it by 12 votes. And mind you, Maine is supposed to be Democratic, but Susan Collins somehow seems to win all the time. Now, I know all the polls are showing that Graham Platner is up, but honestly, you can't believe all the polls. I wouldn't bank on that because, again, we do not know for a fact that this is it. I feel like with Graham Platner, there's going to be more. There was even some journalists online, and I don't have the screenshot, but they're saying, oh, Graham Platner is going to have a hard time tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is technically today, and I have not seen anything from Graham Platner. However, we do know that he did go to Washington today, and he did talk to Chuck Schumer, and Chuck Schumer basically said, we're going to beat Susan Collins. That's what he kept repeating. We're going to beat Susan Collins. He didn't address any of the nastiness or the stuff that Graham Platner has done. He just kept saying, we're going to beat Susan Collins, and that's it. So it seems like at this point, everybody's behind Graham Platner as far as the, y'all love to say the Democratic establishment, but the Democratic establishment is behind them. It seemed like they're going to run Graham Platner. I don't think Janet Mills is going to come back in or try to come back in. I think it's going to be Graham Platner. But I would like to see if this will work. This kind of candidate, somebody who is flawed, but quote unquote saying the right thing. My whole point is that if we're fine with running Graham Platner, then let's throw all the litmus tests out there. Let's throw them all out because we'll pick something that's so small and so tiny about someone and then say, oh, don't vote for them. But when someone is literally saying the things that Graham Platner is saying, it's all like, oh, well, that was so long ago, or I don't care. You've seen a lot of leftists like the Kyle Kalinske, the Hassan Pikers. They all say, I don't care. So what? I think Kyle even said something like, if he was sexting his mom, he wouldn't care. Some creepy shit like that. I don't know. Y'all, it's weird. Very weird. And it's all like people are more upset with you calling out Graham Platner for his ignorance and his scandals than they are at Graham Platner for his own scandals. It's amazing. But Maine, I think it's only like 8 or 6% black. So, I mean, shit, it ain't really up to us. So we ain't going to be making the decisions. Maybe that'll work out in his favor. Because white people will vote for anybody. I mean, they voted for Donald Trump. And that's the other thing. It's all like, oh, well, Trump has done this and that. Okay, yeah, that's true. But do we want somebody just like Trump? Is that where the bar is at right now? Like, oh, yeah, as long as, they've done the same things Trump has done, who cares about it? Trump is also on the Epstein list. So, I mean, if Graham Platner is on the Epstein list, we just be like, who cares? And I'm not saying Graham Platner is, obviously, right? But I'm just saying, like, how low are we going to go? And Graham Platner coming up with, oh, this whole sexting scandal is a lie and stuff. Homie, get out of here with all that. You a lie, if anything. But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, I'll go ahead and post a whole clip, but I just wanted to get to that part because, again, I agree with Yemisi when she was all like, he's cosplaying. Basically, all you have to do is say, oh, I'm a progressive, and all the leftists and the progressives will get behind you and be like, yeah, we're going to cheer you on. But again, you thought John Fetterman was, but mind you, when he was mayor, he chased down a black man with a gun, and y'all said that he was so progressive. This is why black people can't trust y'all. But again, let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that hype button up. All right, love y'all. We out of here. Deuces.